Good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock and it's time to start the meeting. I welcome you all to this 11th annual general meeting of our company. The requisite quorum being present, I call the meeting to order. Proxies and authorizations have been received for 153.91 crore equity shares of rupees 5 each, which is 61.84% of the company's paid-up equity share capital. Registers, documents and records, as required by law, are open for inspection by the members. I wish to introduce to you my colleagues on the dais. To my left is Shri Deepak Shauri, Srimati Manjari Kakkar, our first woman director, and Shri Gurdeep Singh, our CEO of our consumer business. To my right is Shri A.K. Purwar and Shri Bhardwaj. The annual report for the financial year 2014-15 has already been circulated to you. I request the members to permit me to take the notice convening this meeting as well as the auditor's report as read, since there are no qualification in the said auditor's report. Thank you. Reliance Communications is a Reliance Group company. The Reliance Group is one of the youngest industrial groups in India. We are just 9 years old. The Reliance Group is proud to have a family of over 8 million shareholders, the largest in the world. I'm grateful to you, shareholders. The Reliance Group has over 250 million customers. That is 1 out of every 5 Indians is our valued customer, and we are fortunate to serve them every single day. The Reliance Group has over 100,000 strong, young, committed people who work for the group. The Reliance Group has created assets of over 260,000 crores since its inception in just 9 years, one of the largest by any industrial group. The Reliance Group has a net worth of about 100,000 crores amongst the top 10 in the private sector. And the Reliance Group has an operating profit of over 20,000 crores. I now request Shri Gurdeep Singh, the Chief Executive Officer of our consumer business, to give us an update on the business of the company. Gurdeep.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all of you. To deliver big, you need to dream big first. A phone in every hand was a dream that we started the Reliance Communication with. More than that, to empower every individual. And when we look around us today, it's more than a reality. Our legendary founder, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani, continue to inspire us to think out of the box and stay ahead of the curve. Let me first talk to you about the key milestones of the year gone by, and before I touch upon the opportunity in front of us. As you all know, your company is the largest integrated, converged telecom player in the country, with the spectrum assets spanning across 2G, 3G, and now with 4G capable spectrum, 190,000 route kilometers of fiber across the nation, and 69,000 odd kilometers sub-sea cable network. Besides this, we have over 110 million subscribers. We have the largest share of the internet subscribers to our community, and of the people who use our internet, nearly half of them are our 3G subscribers. We, in true sense, is a converged player. In the year gone by, we've seen a revenue to exceed 22,098 crore, with the EBITDA margin at 34%. EBITDA stood at 7,518 crore. with our assets now exceeding 91,284 crore, while the net worth stood at 37,936 crore. Clearly, we have been relentlessly following sustainable, profitable growth as our business model. No wonder over the years, the key operating indices of the business have continued to strengthen and harden. If you look on the screen, be it the rate per minute, which is the single most driving factor for your top line and bottom line, has continued to harden, stands at 44 paisa. Our minutes of usage per subscriber continue to strengthen to now at a healthy 330 minutes per subscriber. And our quarterly ARPUs have moved up significantly over the years to now at 147 rupees per subscriber, while the EBITDA per minute that we make is closer to 15.6 paisa per minute. All in all, the basic health parameters show a turnaround and an upward swing in the business. The year that's gone by also had a lot of milestones towards improving the balance sheet, either through equity infusion or elongating the debt profile. Let me share some of these with you. The first, we are the largest ever 6,100 crore equity infusion through QIP, largest ever done by an Indian private company outside the PSUs. We also went to the international rating agencies for the first time, and Moody's and Fitch gave us a stable outlook rating. We followed it up with the 2 successful bond issuance to elongate the debt profile of the company. All in all of these milestones reflect a very solid investor confidence in RCom of today and its outlook for the future. The other key milestones during the year was strengthening of our portfolio of spectrum. As you all know, the spectrum is the rocket fuel for this business. In the recent auctions held, over 55% of our outlay went towards acquiring more LTE capability. I can say with a lot of confidence that your company is the only player in the Indian market with a sub 1 gigahertz capability to deliver pan-India LTE. This is one distinction which any other player is unlikely to acquire in the near term. We continued our focus to strengthen our partnerships for the improvement and leadership in the business. We continued our infrastructure sharing with Reliance Jio, which all of you are well aware, as we have been sharing this with you as an ongoing effort to arrive at a non-duplicated infrastructure to create more value for the shareholders. With the vision of Mr. Anil Ambani to have internet for all, we partnered with Facebook to bring internet to all our consumers, particularly to those who have never gone into the internet to see what internet is all about. I'm happy to share that we partnered with Facebook as the only partner in India, and we continue to strengthen and take lead in this direction. Recently, we signed up a strategic partnership with Jasper. The next stage of the business beyond connecting human beings is to connect everything that can be connected. That is to talk about machines. So Internet of Things is going to be the next wave of adoption and opportunity for telecom operators. I'm happy to share our partnership with the world leader, Jasper, in this direction. In the past, we have continued to strengthen our operations to be the lead player in cloud exchange or in the clouding platform, and our partnership with the who's who of the global leaders like IBM, Panasonic, and Hitachi is a one strong step in that direction. All in all, we have been extending our hand to forge partnerships to bring newer things and stay ahead of the curve. All of us know data is the future, but it's important to understand the depth and width of what this opportunity is. We all talk about, all of the people sitting in this room perhaps use internet, but little you know that 1 billion Indians are still unconnected. They have never taken to internet. Only 20% or 22% of the population uses internet. There's a huge potential untapped. I'm sure people in this room can't live without internet even for an hour. if that is the new oxygen, it's our utmost duty to take it to every subscriber of RCom. But what do people use it for? I mean, currently the usages are limited to email, instant messaging, social networking, search, and now increasingly the app stores. You will be shocked to hear that there are more users on WhatsApp. Sorry, let me put it the other way around. There are people who use WhatsApp but have never used internet. I think that shows about the depth of the opportunity and the issues in front of us to capitalize on. The smartphones are the added rocket fuel to the growth of this industry. The industry was selling about, or consumers were upgrading to smartphones at the rate of 60 lakhs a month about a year ago, and now that figure is at 90 lakhs a month. We believe over the next 2 to 3 years, the smartphones will keep getting added at the rate of 100 to 125 million a year, thereby creating an opportunity for leveraging on the data growth story. But the more important part is the video consumption. 9 crore YouTube videos are watched every day in India. And an average Indian who is on internet spends 95 minutes on the YouTube. But our story is a little different than the rest of the world. If you look at every 100 miles, the way of language, the diversity of this country, vernacular changes. Video is the only medium that can cut across language barrier and any adoption barrier. We believe we will lead the pack in terms of video consumption per subscriber in the next 5 years, thereby and making a huge opportunity for the telecom business to set up robust networks and find a unique revenue pipe. No wonder India is either the first or the second largest market for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for WhatsApp, and now increasingly Twitter. I think social networking is spearheading the data revolution and data adoption. Recently, the companies like Flipkart, Snapdeal, Paytm, Amazon are driving the e-commerce space. Over 120,000 crores of business is likely to be transacted, including utilities and bill payments, through the e-commerce platform. And this is whopping 50% of any e-commerce activity. If you look at the chart, India is a unique country where people are adopting to the e-commerce usage through mobile first. Over 50% of such transactions are through only mobile phones. We are leapfrogging as a nation. No wonder, in the times to come, the data market is going to grow multifold. Over the next 4-year horizon, it will be 8 times growth in the data consumption in this country. And the internet revenue market will alone be at a $15 billion. In a 2 years' time from today, more than 50% of the incremental revenue in telecom category will come through the data pipe. How is RCom ready to capture this data boom? Your company is in the most pivotal position today. We are perhaps at a transformational stage. Let me share that with you. To capture this data boom, you have to have certain fundamental pillars right, which are a rocket fuel to this business. First is spectrum. Our spectrum portfolio across 2G, 3G, erstwhile CDMA, which will morph into, as we liberalize that spectrum into 850 LTE, is the most diverse, most integrated spectrum portfolio that any telco can have. Second, the capability of 850. I'm sure all of you are aware about that lower the frequency, better the spectrum is. The best part about 850, as you can see from the screen, is that it has the largest throw, it can penetrate in walls, it allows you to set up a large network at the least of the capital. So in telecom, to hold a spectrum which is the lowest in the frequency is a prized possession. And I'm happy to share with you that your company is the only company in India which has a pan-India capability to launch 4G services on this platform. And that puts us into a near incumbent-like position in the data market. Coupled with the portfolio of our towers, which are highly centric to urban and semi-urban market, 43,379 towers across all the 22 circles, and the 190,000 route kilometers of fiber, and more importantly, the fiber that connects to the base stations complements the spectrum portfolio to the fiber. Data spectrum without fiber is like a voice spectrum. You have to have both to realize the benefit and delivering world-class consumer experience to the customers. We are using this spectrum across the strata. We use 3G spectrum to drive handheld consumption. We have 13 of our geographic areas where we have our own spectrum, 5 we partner with others, and this is primarily used to drive smartphone-led data revenue growth. Our CDMA 800 spectrum, which will morph into 850 in the future, is targeted at large screen devices to get that additional market share, which eventually will fold into LTE. But all of this requires an infrastructure on the ground through your retailers and partners to deliver. We have over 7 lakh retailers who are daily engaged in selling, promoting, and distributing the Reliance Communication products. We have 956 exclusive stores at arm's length to the consumer, where they can go touch, feel, experience devices, and buy any of the company's services. We have a large fleet of direct sales agents who go home to home or institution to institution to get more business for your company. And we are increasingly taking a lead position in selling through the digital pipe. Over the next 3 years, our aim is that 25% of the company's revenues must come through the digital channels. But with this, we're also taking some innovative step to create a unique position for RCom in the mind of the consumers and take advantage of unique segment creation. We are inspired to continue innovation-led growth. All of our data plans, most of our data plans that we have in the country, come bundled with social networking. As you've seen from the previous slide, that social networking is the first start point for adoption of internet. And we're making it easier for customers and saying that when you sign up to our data plan, the social networking comes bundled with the plans so that you don't count your megabits. No wonder 30% of our customers use internet. No telco has that percentage to its subscriber base. And half of the internet users are 3G, which is way ahead of any other telcos operating indices. So we lead the pack in that sense. Our partnership with the Facebook is about providing free basic services to the consumers, those who have never gone onto the internet. Be it education, health, jobs, financial inclusion, travel, anything that you can think of will help improve the life of an individual was brought under this platform, working with the like-minded partners. These are internet sites which are not the normal site. These are reduced, truncated, low on bandwidth consumption, almost I would say negligible on the bandwidth consumption, as good as providing information offline. Facebook brought in the technology, we brought in our distribution and our go-to-market. In 7 circles we piloted this. We've been piloting this for 6 months now. And in 6 months, I'm happy to share with you, we brought nearly 1 million people to come onto the internet and experience the internet through a program like this. This is a unique program in the country, and with our vision of our chairman, Shri Anil Ambani, to have internet for all, it's a step in that direction. We also continue to simplify life for our consumers. Things like if you go to a retail store today, I'm sure most of you have gone at some time or the other, you will see a flurry of offers and recharge options available. You've got to be a mathematician today to understand and recall what plan you want to continue to be on, particularly in prepaid. We made a 1 voucher of ₹9. We gave 7 options as listed here. Scratch the option that you want and enjoy for the day. I think things like this, which create a unique position in the mind of consumers, brings simplicity and creates more stickiness. We currently did an experiment in Gujarat in saying, what height can we take the simplicity to? So we squashed all our plans that we were operating in that market, and we launched 3 simplified plans for the consumers. A 97 rupees plan, unlimited access on the voice calling on Reliance network anywhere in the country. 197 rupees plan, unlimited voice and unlimited data on any network across India, as long as you are a Reliance customer. And we appropriately named it as Suvatche. You will be happy to note that in a month's time, or rather 42 days' time, our market share on new acquisitions moved up from 8% to 20%. It gives us more than a strong belief that as you continue to simplify life for the consumers, pack value for money, there is a market for you to capture on. As they say in Gujarati, I will try my level best. Ek recharge ma mahina bharno jalso. And consumers came back and said, "Thai gayo na jalso." Right. So I think that's a great step forward. My Gujarati is good. As you are aware, long ago we pioneered the launch of dongles, R-Connect. Now we are taking it to the next level. As the world is becoming more pervasive around Wi-Fi, I think there was a need to upgrade the offering to the consumers. Also, customers have more devices in their hand. They also need to be connected. So from a one device to multiple device connections, I think our focus is now shifting from an individual share to a home wallet share. To do something that encourages us to get the competitive churn in. So we introduced a product called Wi-Pod. It's a series of Wi-Fi, MiFi routers where you can connect up to 10 devices and share the bandwidth up to 10 devices. Fundamentally, you go home, put one Wi-Pod onto the power plug, or without power, you can connect all your devices at the home. The best part is, this is like a network that you can carry. Whether it's a residential use, SMA use, or a corporate use, it's a network that is everywhere. It's a network that you can carry. And we really love competition to come onto us. Right. So Wi-Pod is fundamentally aimed at making inroads into the competitive homes, not asking them to change their connections, but we are saying that when you are in the four walls, think about Wi-Pod. And that is our way of enhancing our revenue, targeting a segment, and improving the shareholder returns. And I'm happy to share that this has met a great success, and we continue to multiply our reach and market share through this unique Wi-Pod devices. We also continue to innovate and continue to empower our customers. We launched an InstaCare app for our consumers. We are today living in the world of apps. This is in-house developed. And today over 1 million of our customers in the first 6 months of pilot use InstaCare app only to either recharge, upgrade, get offers, and do all value-added services. So we will continue to empower our consumers as we go forward. Similarly, we are doing a lot of stuff to empower our retailers, for them to know the hot offers of the day, how far and close they are to targets, how our products are the best priced, how much have they earned, what kind of earning they can have with the plans that we are running, and so on and so forth. I think any empowered, well-educated retailer contributes immensely or increasingly to your business. We have just partnered with Twitter. It's something that we will be launching this month. The first in Asia, the customer care through Twitter. So if you're a Twitter user, you don't have to go out of Twitter to manage your RCom account on the lines of all of these things that we mentioned. You love to be applauded sometime, and it's great when someone from outside speaks. Two of the recent surveys done by Economic Times by AC Nielsen, one was on what's buzzing in the minds of the young teens. This was a survey done for brand equity. I'm happy to share that the top 20 brands that teens find buzzing in India, RCom is one of those. I think it's a matter of pride for all of us. Secondly, the corporate image monitor study done by Nielsen ranks RCom into one of the top 10 corporate image monitor companies in India. I think that's a unique distinction, and RCom is the only company from our group to be in that coveted position. Coming to the enterprises side of the business, some of these figures will shock you. 1 out of 3 times when you go to withdraw money from ATM, you're riding on RCom network. 1 out of every 4 times you access website, irrespective of what website, what ATM, you're riding on RCom network. 75% of the time you're probably accessing social networking, you're on RCom's network. And 1 out of every 3 calls you receive from overseas comes on the RCom network. I think that's the enterprise behemoth that we have built up through on the back of our fiber in-country, subsea cable, and our well-laid nationwide network. No wonder today it gives us the opportunity to work with the who's who of the world as a partner, who's who in the vendors who want to work with us, and the list on the right-hand side tells you the kind of marquee accounts that we service globally. Enterprises are changing their shape. They no longer want to manage the telecom networks. They are looking at outsourcing the management of the telecom assets. And with our kind of infrastructure, being largest in data center, cable, our wireless network, I think we are the best positioned to capture on this managed services for the enterprise business of the telecom, of the other enterprises. Because enterprises are looking at scalability, they're looking at reliability, and they're looking at you to add value, as good as to say that you do your work and allow us to expand our business. The fiber that runs across the continent, as you can see on the screen, we touch all possible continents in this planet. The emerging markets are going to have over 2 billion connected subscribers. They are going to be the 75% of the smartphone growth in the world. So you can imagine the traffic that is going to ride on this connected pipe. And we are well positioned to encash, not only in India, but across the emerging markets platform. No wonder we continue beyond IBM, Hitachi, and Panasonic, our partnership with the world giants like Google, Equinox, and AWS to be a lead player in cloud computing and in the data center space. We are well geared in your enterprise business to cater to the three growth areas, three growth engines of cloud services, your requirement of e-commerce players in the future, and the content providers, riding on the back of superlative infrastructure, partnerships, and alliances that we have in this business. Fundamentally, we have found a sweet spot between where the convergence happens between ICT, information communication and technology, data networks and products, and the voice network. In conclusion, I want to share with you that your company is well positioned, or I would say it's at a transformational stage as we move on to the next stage of the business growth. Leaderships are transient in this business, and your spectrum portfolio, fiber asset, leadership position in enterprise and cloud computing is making your company take the next giant step, is to transform every Indian and corporate and put the power of internet in the hands of everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurdeep. I now move the ordinary resolution relating to item number 1 of the notice for adoption of standalone and consolidated audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2015. Reports of the auditors thereon and reports of the board of directors on standalone financial statements. Before putting the resolutions to vote, I invite the members to seek clarifications, if any, and offer their comments. I request Shri Prakash Shenoy, our company secretary, to announce the names of the members to come to the podium. Prakash.
Thank you, sir. I now take
Ambani-led city in New Mumbai. I will ask Mr. Shenoy to organize that and get a group of shareholders, whoever desire to go in the next few months to visit the knowledge city. The suggestion made by one of the shareholders of having the presentations by the CEO, in this case Gurdeep Singh, and other CEOs in the various meetings on the internet, on YouTube, and etc., is a very good suggestion. We will ensure that it is done. Just for the record, the entire AGM proceedings and the important highlights are webcasted and are available on the internet real time and online. The Sailesh Bhai mentioned in his large number of comments, a few comments which I will talk about, and one is his excellent advice for the audit committee to consider both standalone and consolidated accounts for their review. The second one was the history of the financial summary from inception, which can be always incorporated. And we are all duty bound to comply with the Companies Act, whatever it may be, whether we like it or we don't like it. I think it will make the system more transparent, it will make the system more accountable. So we are obliged to report as per the Companies Act, whatever is mandatory and whatever is optional, both of them naturally we will be wanting to do. Let me make a few observations which will answer a number of questions raised by a number of shareholders on the future of the company and the various opportunities and strategies for future growth that we are pursuing. Number one, let me talk about the recent development on trading and sharing of spectrum. As all of you are familiar, spectrum is the lifeline, is the natural resource that really drives telecoms. So we welcome the forward-looking policy of this government, which has recently approved trading and sharing of spectrum. This has been recently approved by the Union Cabinet. The sharing guidelines have already been published on Friday, and we expect the trading guidelines also to be announced very shortly. These policies are in line with global best practices, and India has to follow what the world is doing sooner than later. And as we are leapfrogging through technology, as we are leapfrogging from no phone to a mobile phone, access to the internet straight from a mobile phone, clearly these are the last few policies that the government needs to execute in terms of being globally benchmarked and have global best practices. So sharing and trading is in that direction, and we welcome this entire policy framework. What sharing and trading of spectrum will effectively do is A, it will optimally utilize the scarce resources of spectrum available with the various operators. 2, it will substantially remove duplication of capital expenditure by different operators for rollout services. Today, every operator is spending his own capital and saying this is my spectrum, my tower, my fiber. But as we get into a more cooperative model, I think that sharing and trading will ultimately benefit all consumers, all shareholders, because companies' capital intensity hopefully will come down and the resources will be spent in a better fashion, and there will be an optimal utilization of resources. Undoubtedly, sharing and trading of spectrum will improve coverage and quality of services. So the issues on call drops, the issues on quality of services, on coverage, one of the shareholders mentioned, and my condolences on the passing away of your brother, and I'm sorry that they could not reach you. But if we have a common shared infrastructure policy, then it should not make a difference whether it's a Reliance tower or it's a XYZ tower. You as a customer are really interested in being connected, and the call should be connected. And I believe that that is what is the model that is going to go into the future. And last, I would say that it's a unique opportunity for companies and the industry in general to monetize its investments already made in acquisition of spectrum, leading to a reduction in the overall level of leverage and debt of the various players. As all of you are familiar, the telecom industry has participated repeatedly in auctions to buy spectrum, and all operators have a large amount of debt, more than necessary debt than what all of us can really afford. And I think that the step towards sharing and trading of spectrum will lighten the burden of debt on all operators and will give an opportunity to unlock and create value for all operators. 2 is the strategic partnership between Reliance Communications and Reliance Jio. As you are aware, we commenced this strategic partnership between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communication in April 2013. The partnership already covers a large number of areas. It started with the sharing of towers, whereby Reliance Jio doesn't have to build towers that we have. And if they are building towers, then we don't need to build those towers and we can occupy those towers ourselves. So it's a cooperative model. The same thing we extended to fiber, both intra-city, that is within a city, that means within the city of Bombay, and intra-city, which is say connecting Bombay and Delhi, Bombay and Ahmedabad, Bombay and Chennai, and so on and so forth. Sharing of bandwidth, sharing of infrastructure points of interconnect, and sharing of ducts. As you know that all fiber is laid through ducts in the ground. You will see often people digging roads all the time and making life inconvenient for most people. Reliance Communication had the foresight to put in ducts many years ago into the ground, and we don't need to dig roads again, and those ducts can now be used by us or by Reliance Jio and by other customers. We are in discussions with other telecom operators, and this is frankly a common infrastructure is the way we should look at it. It should not inconvenience people. It should be at a lower cost. It should provide a higher quality of service, and at the end of the day, everybody must optimize their capital expenditure. The announcement last week of trading and sharing policies by the government has really now set the stage to extend our partnership to the next level of cooperation between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communication. I believe that this will be the true game changer for the sector, a true game changer for Reliance Jio and for Reliance Communication, and we will see the benefits of this in the coming years. As Gurdeep mentioned in his presentation, Reliance Communication is the only operator in India to hold 5 megahertz of contiguous spectrum, or the most valuable spectrum in the 800 to 850 band across the country. This spectrum is ideally suited for the launch of what I really believe is the first truly world-class 4G long-term evolution technology services in India. I believe that our offering jointly with Reliance Jio and Reliance Communication together will be the gold standard of 4G services. I believe that we have the real clear ability to provide a competitive edge in terms of quality, coverage, and pricing over other operators launching similar services in other spectrum bands. Just so that shareholders understand, the higher the spectrum band, the poorer are the quality of services, the higher is the capital expenditure. There is unlikely to be any other operator, barring Reliance Communication and Reliance Jio, who will launch 4G services on a pan-India basis in the 800 band. And that's why I said this will truly be the first time that India will see gold standard 4G services. And I'm confident that during the course of this year, this financial year, we will have launch of 4G services across India. So I'm pleased to announce today that we are at an advanced stage of discussions for finalizing our nationwide trading and sharing arrangements between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communications in the 800 to 850 band, in line with the new policies of the Department of Telecom. These arrangements will be accompanied by reciprocal arrangements between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communications for roaming by our respective customers on each other's networks. So all Reliance Communication customers will be able to roam on Reliance Jio network, and all prospective Reliance Jio customers will be able to roam on the Reliance Communication network. These arrangements will facilitate Reliance Communications access to Reliance Jio's world-class 4G LTE network on an asset-light and minimal capital expenditure model, and enable us to offer customers state-of-the-art gold standard 4G LTE services across the length and breadth of this country. Simultaneously, Reliance Jio will also substantially benefit from access to Reliance Communications' entire portfolio of 800, 850 megahertz band spectrum in all 22 circles across the country to supplement the already considerable spectrum holdings in 800, 850, 1800 and 2300 megahertz bands held by Reliance Jio. Reliance Jio will also secure the ability to offer their customers a fallback on Reliance Communications' extensive 2G and 3G networks across the country wherever required by the customer. I believe that this overall strategic cooperation and partnership between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communications is a virtual consolidation in the telecom sector. And I am grateful to my elder brother, Mukesh Bhai, for his unstinted support and guidance in making this partnership a reality. I am sure that the close cooperation between the two companies, Reliance Jio and Reliance Communications, will make my father very happy in heaven, and my dearest loving mother, Kokila Ben, who is present here today. A few shareholders asked about towers and a tower company. I am pleased to announce that we are making excellent progress on the strategic process for creation of India's first truly independent tower company. As previously intimated to the stock exchanges, we are in the midst of a formal process for creation of value and monetization of our 95% stake in Reliance Infratel, together with a change of management control. Based on progress made so far and barring unforeseen circumstances, we expect to sign and announce this new independent tower company formation and transaction by the end of this year. Our other potential transactions for monetization of valuable real estate owned by Reliance Communications is also proceeding extremely well. These transactions will lead to a substantial reduction of Reliance Communications' overall debt and greatly strengthen your company's balance sheet, creating a robust platform for renewed growth in the years to come. Together with the monetization of spectrum through trading and sharing arrangements with Reliance Jio and the asset-light and minimal capex model, again in partnership with Reliance Jio, we intend to adopt as above for our future growth. I believe that we are at a transformational moment in Reliance Communications growth, and one that will lead to significant value creation for all stakeholders in the years ahead. Industry consolidation. Even as virtual industry consolidation between Reliance Jio and Reliance Communications takes place through spectrum trading, sharing, and infrastructure sharing, there is clearly a need for an absolute reduction in the number of operators in various circles across the country. I am pleased to state that our discussions with SSTL/MTS from Russia for a merger of their Indian operations into Reliance Communications through a stock swap, all share transaction, are now at an advanced stage, and we are expecting to finalize this and announce it in the course of the next few weeks. We expect that the proposed merger will be highly value accretive for your company and at premium valuations for Reliance Communications shares, as it will substantially give us benefits in 8 important circles, extend the validity of the valuable spectrum that we hold in the 800-850 band by a significantly long period of 12 years, all the way up till year 2033. This will be another unique element to the strong competitive position of your company. Digital India. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, is leaving no stone unturned to translate his vision of Digital India into reality. It is a brilliant vision to transform India into a digitally empowered society and a knowledge economy, providing digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen, governance and services on demand, and digital empowerment of citizens. I had the privilege of participating in the launch program of this visionary initiative. Reliance Communications expects to play a frontier role in realizing the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister with our capabilities of high-speed broadband on the back of our nationwide fiber network, high-quality spectrum assets, and data center facilities providing unlimited cloud computing power. As a leading pan-India wireless company, Reliance Communications has already helped millions of our citizens with mobile connectivity and voice offerings. Now, with the Digital India initiative, Reliance Communications will help hundreds of millions of customers leapfrog into a transformational digital era, an era where 1 billion people in India will move from the current state of no access to even basic computers to a world-class instantaneous access to the internet through the most sophisticated computing devices right in their own hands, namely smartphones. I would like to end my comments on a note of great optimism for the future prospects for our great company. The improving fundamentals of the Indian economy, the Honorable Prime Minister's vision for Digital India, our world-class telecom assets and infrastructure, our partnerships with global majors in the digital space, our imminent transactions to strengthen our balance sheet, and our asset-light and minimal capex growth strategies for the future. All these factors and more fill me with confidence that Reliance Communication is poised to deliver superior returns to all its stakeholders in the years that lie ahead of us. Thank you. As required, the company has provided remote e-voting facility to all the members of the company from September 27th, 2015 to September 29, 2015. The voting rights of the members shall be in proportion to the number of shares held by them as on the cutoff date being September 23, 2015. The voting through physical ballot has also been made available to the members who attend the AGM who have not already cast their vote by remote e-voting. The board of directors of the company have appointed Shri Anil Lohia, partner Dayal and Lohia, chartered accountants, as the scrutinizer to scrutinize the voting process. Now Shri Prakash Shinoy, company secretary, will guide you for voting at the meeting.
Members are requested to fill up the details in the